What if joy for ourselves comes through joy for others? That's the thought behind this week's Sunday question. Hey everyone, I'm Denise Brown and I write what I call Sunday questions. I love to think of a good question because then my mind will seek out a good answer. This strategy of really being intentional about what's in my head and what's in my head are good questions has been so helpful for me as I've gone through really stressful situations and tough times. And I hope this strategy is helpful for you too. There are two stories that actually inspire this week's Sunday question. And the first is from a sales call I had on Thursday evening. So I connected with someone who wants to enroll in our certified caregiving consultant training. She is passionate about starting a small business to coach and consult with those who care for a family member. We had a great call. And at the end, she said, "Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm nervous about doing this, and I'm going to do this." And then she said, "And you're the only one who knows I'm going to do this." And I said, "I'm the only one. And then the other students in the training program will know, and we want you to do well. We want to celebrate and have you really enjoy success." And she said, "I appreciate that. And the reason I'm not telling anyone else is because anytime I do, they drag me down. They're not happy for me." I thought, oh, I totally get that. When you are doing something that's important to you, that you want for yourself, there's always someone who is going to cast a shadow. So you're in the sun thinking, this is fabulous. I'm pursuing my dream. And then someone brings the dark clouds. Oh my. And just can't seem to be able to gather up the little bit of energy it takes to support you. Because let's face it, it takes the teeniest, tiniest energy to actually say, good for you. The second story is from my love of sports. I'm in Chicago. I support all Chicago sports teams. That was huge when I was growing up as a family. It is huge in my relationship with my siblings. We talk about sports. I went to University of Illinois, so I follow University of Illinois sports teams, which sometimes is great and sometimes is heartbreaking. Well, I guess that's with Chicago sports teams as well. My heavens. Oh, for the Illinois basketball team this season, we are enjoying really great moments. And a lot of the great moments are coming from a freshman. He's 18 years old. His name is Keaton Wagler. Think about it. A year ago, he was a senior in high school. This year, he's a freshman with national attention. People are talking about him, people are writing about him. He's a breakout star. In January, Illinois traveled to Purdue. And at the time, Purdue was number 4 in the country, and Illinois was number 11, maybe number 10 at the time. In that game, Keaton Wagler scored 46 points. 46 points. It was unbelievable. After that game, I checked out his merchandise because I thought, I wonder how much, what his merchandise looks like. And I hope he's making a lot of money from his merchandise. So I looked at his merchandise and then I talked about it with a friend of mine. We actually were roommates for 4 years in college, and we meet for strength training every week. So during one of our strength training classes, I said, "Did you look at Keaton's merchandise?" And she said, "Yeah, that's so interesting because his merchandise is basically his head on a t-shirt and he's smiling." And she said, "That's so interesting that they had him smile because he never smiles." And that's the part I think about. I hope he's having fun. I hope he's loving this. I hope the pressure isn't too much for him. I hope his love of the game is still there. It's hard to tell though, because he's very stoic when he's playing. He plays without emotion. He'll crack a smile once in a while, but he's pretty all business out there. Okay, then last week, the team had its last home game of the season, and that's senior night. So they honor the seniors on the team. And one of the seniors they honored is a young man named AJ Red. When AJ started his freshman year at University of Illinois, he didn't make the basketball team. He wanted to be a part of the program, so he was a team manager. So he did all the grunt work. And then the next year, he was a walk-on. He didn't have a scholarship, but he was on the team. And then the next year, he got a scholarship. The only time that AJ Red plays is when Illinois is winning big, and he'll go in the last couple minutes of the game. Coach Underwood will take the starting lineup out and put in the other players. On Tuesday night, Illinois was winning by, at some point, it was maybe 30 points. When it's about 4 minutes left in the game, the crowd starts chanting, AJ Red. They want AJ to go into the game. With 3 minutes left, Coach Underwood takes out some of the starters, including Keaton Wagler, and he puts in AJ Red. Illinois has the ball. AJ Red is dribbling and has the ball and takes a shot. And the shot he takes almost was so far, it was like he was in the last seat in the last row in the stadium. And it was an air ball. And Coach Underwood, for some reason, was really mad about that. Now, again, Illinois is winning. This is AJ Red's senior night. He's just trying to score. And Coach Underwood is furious, calls a timeout, and he's screaming at AJ Red. And AJ Red is kind of laughing because it really was kind of a funny shot to take. And his teammates are kind of laughing. So they're in this huddle. Coach Underwood is screaming, he's red. And then everybody else is like, that's not a big deal. Okay. So, anyway, so timeout is over. They go back out onto the floor, and the team knows what it needs to do, and that is get the ball to AJ Red so he does score. So it's Illinois ball. They inbound it, they pass it, and then there's another pass to a player who has been watching where AJ Red is, sees him behind him, passes him the ball through his legs. It's an amazing pass. AJ Red catches it and shoots. And this time it's a beautiful 3-point shot. Nothing but net. Everybody goes nuts. The whole stadium is jumping up and down, screaming. I'm jumping up and down in my apartment, screaming. I asked my friend who was there at the game, I said, what was it like? She was like, we were all screaming, jumping up and down. And you can see his teammates on the sidelines. They are all standing, and you can almost feel them take a breath and hold it when AJ Red starts to take the shot. And then when he makes it, they are jumping for joy. And Keaton Wagler is smiling and jumping and thrilled. It's the most emotion I've seen from him in any of the games. He is overjoyed at his friend, AJ Red, scoring 3 points. Illinois gets the ball again. AJ Red gets the ball, dribbles, does a layup, scores 2 points. The place goes wild again. AJ Red finishes the game with 5 points. It's the most points he's scored in a game during his career, his 4-year career at Illinois. After the game, fans ask for his autograph. He's signing hats and t-shirts. He does a press interview, a radio interview after the game, and then he's one of the players that joins the press conference after the game. So a couple players usually will meet the press for a press conference and answer questions. And AJ Red is one of the players who gets to be a part of the press conference. It's awesome. It's a great night for AJ Red playing his last game at Illinois, at Illinois' stadium. He'll continue to play because they have more games coming up in the tournaments, but that's his last home game. That was his last game at home as a player on the University of Illinois basketball team. And what I think about is how great it was to see his teammate, Keaton Wagler, actually so overjoyed as at his friend scoring 5 points. Okay, so I guess when we're out in the world, we have a choice about how we manage someone else's success. And let's be the ones who celebrate it. And so that leads to this week's Sunday question, which is, how can I celebrate another's joyful win? And here's what I wrote for you. We've all celebrated, you know what? I'm going to start over, but I'm not going to start over and re-record. I'm just going to start over reading because you can imagine starting over and recording those stories. I don't think I can do it again. So, okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start reading again. Gosh, I get so excited about these two stories because isn't that amazing to think about? On Tuesday night, I saw what it's like when someone is truly joyful for another. And then 2 nights later, I hear from someone saying, I don't tell anyone about my passion and how I'm pursuing it because I know they won't be happy for me. Oh, wow. Okay. So our Sunday question is, how can I celebrate another's joyful win? And here's what I wrote for you. We've all experienced a fabulous moment. We achieved. We won. We overcame. Most celebrate with us. There's always that one, though, that just can't give us our celebratory moment. Let's not be that person. Let's be sure to honor, celebrate, congratulate when another receives good news or achieves a win. When we jump for joy for another, we give ourselves a moment of joy too. We can remind ourselves that we want to be cheering for another by asking ourselves this question to begin our day. How can I celebrate another's joyful win? Who will you celebrate? Let us know in the comments. If you're celebrating someone, share this episode with them and let them know why you are celebrating them. And if our Sunday questions resonate with you, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss one. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for your celebrations. Have a good week. And thanks for listening.